And welcome. Thank you. Good evening once again, and welcome to another series, Resilient Journeys. We are so excited that you are here. It is March 12th, and it is going to be an amazing Resilient Journeys. I say series, I also say journey because it's actually a journey. Each time we get a chance to hear from amazing panelists, they get to share some of their journey, some of their experience with one of the tools that we have used and learned through Charting Your Life course. And then they're able to share with you all. And then in turn, we get to have, very informed conversations and dialogue with each other as well. So let's dive straight in. As you can see, today we're talking about Charting Your Life course. It's around sacred strength, building relationships that uplift us. And one of the two tools we're using are the mapping relationship tool. And you might also get a snippet of the reciprocal role tool as well. Share more details very soon. If you don't know who I am, I'm Brandy Muhammad, and I'm an information specialist with Ohio Coalition for the Education of Children with Disabilities. What that means is I work for families in the Northwest Ohio area, helping them navigate special education, ups and downs, ins and outs, hills and mountains, figuring out which three to climb versus all 20. That's what I do. And we also have other information specialists in the whole state of Ohio. So if you ever need help navigating special education, reach out to us. I'm also an Ohio ambassador with Charting the Life course, which means I get to do what I do, right? I haven't taught, excuse me, let me be clear. I have learned about the principles from the principles, the tools that we can use in order to help us, like we're doing here with Resilient Journeys. And because my super dope, amazing colleagues, Tracy Mans, who's over the Family Resource Network of Ohio, and Celia Schlomer, they saw something and was like, hey, Brandy, I need you to jump in and figure out something for Black and Brown moms. And I was like, all right, bet. So let me just go ahead and figure something out. And because of that, I'm a contractor with the Family Resource Network of Ohio. I say sometimes that we're a small but mighty team. We also have Barb. I don't know Barb's last name right off, but then we also have Erica Young. She's in the background. She's always making sure that all my T's are crossed and my I's are dotted. She makes sure that everything is done proper and we have the beautiful pictures and displays and everything and the flyers. So I want to give a shout out to the amazing Family Resource Network of Ohio team. As I said, the series is provided once again from who? I just said it about two or three times, the Family Resource Network of Ohio. Check out the website. There's plenty of videos on the website. There's plenty of information about Charting the Life course. And once again, it's Ohio's hub for Charting the Life course. As we always do, let me take a little sip of my tea because, I get really excited. Did everybody get to see my beautiful cup? Just in case you didn't, there's my beautiful cup. Tracy made the beautiful emblem for us, got us all cups. All the panelists have come so far. They all have cups, and a couple of my new panelists will be getting cups soon. So be on the lookout, okay? Let me take my sip. Feel free to get your tea, your coffee, whatever you want to put in your cup. Don't worry about it. We won't have to have a conversation. Just go ahead and enjoy your drink, okay? So this is what we're going to do before we get the opportunity for my panelists to jump in and share about themselves. Everybody get your phone out. It's 2026 and you got to have a phone, right? At your phone, take a picture of this QR code really quick for me. Okay, did everybody get a chance to go to the QR code? Okay, so if you have a chance, if you already went to the QR code, and then you can add your responses. So the question is, who are the people that support you most? So you can put whoever supports you. You can put names, you can put titles, you can put initials, whatever you choose. Just throw it into the word clouds.
Hey man, you know I love you more than life, baby. Yes, sir. Let's keep that going.
All right. While we are waiting for everybody to put their words in the word cloud, we'll continue on, okay? And we'll come back at the end if we have time.
Yeah.
So let me tell you a little bit about the tool that we'll be using today. So as you can see here, we have the mapping relationships tool, and this tool will help you to identify different people and ways that they support you. So remembering when we talk about different people or families, we can talk about your chosen family, or you can talk about your biological family. We all know biological families, right? Those that have, our same DNA. But our chosen family could be those you just care about, right? It could be your neighbor. It could be somebody from your church, from your mosque, from your synagogue, wherever that may be. It's those people that you choose or have chosen to be part of your family. So it doesn't have to be limited on this mapping relationships tool to just your biological family. Some people in your life will help fulfill a lot of different roles, right? And then some might just fulfill one particular role. It's all up to you. That's the beautiful thing about charting a life course. In addition to that, it can also help you have conversations about the future and who will fill those roles. The beautiful thing about these tools, in particular, we're looking at the mapping relationship tool. Once you get the information down on paper, you can share that information with others. You don't have the paper just for yourself. Like, oh, I just wrote this, I just filled this mapping relationships tool out. No, it's actually to fill it out and then have sometimes those difficult conversations. You'll be able to hear from my amazing panelists, Pastor Anita, and also Lady Extreme Nicole. They'll be able to share more about their experiences with mapping relationships and how it looks. But let me just give you a little bit more information. All right. Don't forget, it can also help you, once again, as I said, have those conversations, those hard conversations, those who are filling the roles now, and maybe those who could be filling the roles into the future. When you see at the top, it talks about caring about, sharing love, affection, and trust, right? Those are the people that you trust that may or may not spend a lot of time with you, but you care about them and they love you. These are the people, such as your immediate family or extended family, that can also be your close friends and or significant others. Whatever that looks like, you can define all of these persons for yourself. Spending time and creating memories together. Those are your friends sometimes and acquaintances. You spend time with them, and those are the people that are important to you. You may have shared experiences and memories that bring you both together, sometimes joy, tears, happiness, laughter, and more. And knowing about your interests and talent, your interests, and also traditions and cultures. Sometimes people want to have other people that they can trust, right? And explain what's important to them. That's this tool. You're sharing what's important to you, who's important to you. There's sometimes there's events that make you happy, other events that make you sad. We want to know who those important people are to you. What are your likes and dislikes? And what about the habits, your important cultures and celebrations? Once again, caring for, when we look down, it talks about supporting day-to-day needs. These are the people that provide and help support safety, health, and quality of life. When we talk about charting a life course, we're always talking about the good life, right? And so that's the same thing, the quality of life. Helping people sometimes can include meals, right? Dressing, medications, daily activities. These persons could be your parents, even family caregivers, or paid staff. I'm going to be done in just a second. Let me just add this last quick point in addition to what I've already said. Connecting to have meaningful relationships and roles. People can help you stay connected or develop new relationships and friendships. They can also help you find and participate in different hobbies, recreation, or spiritual. And these could be friends, like we said, biological, family, or chosen. It can also be community members, clergy, and it can also be paid staff. Here we go. The reciprocal roles. Now, this tool is a little different. Let me tell you about this one. This tool helps you to identify those people in your life that that help to support you, right? It also helps you to explore ways that people can support you and roles that you play in their lives, not just them playing roles, but you also playing roles in their life. This helps you to identify some different gaps as well as potential for building even stronger relationships. As I promised, I'm going to jump over and introduce you to friend Nicole Carter. Let me just tell you a snippet about Nicole. As you can see, she has a whole bio, right? But what is most about Lady Extreme Nicole? First, she is the ADA commissioner for Franklin County. So just like I talked about working for the coalition and what I do, she is the ADA commissioner. So everybody knows that, right? With that being said, you have questions in regards to the American Disabilities Act, you can ask her because she has all the answers because she's in charge of this of that in that position at this time. In addition to that, she's the founder of Unlimited Possibilities for the Disabilities Fest. It'll be coming up in July. And that's an opportunity for us all to come together in Columbus. I believe it's July 12th. She'll share more about that and what that looks like for her. But what she really wants to share tonight, in addition to all the things I've just said and shared about her bio, is a little bit about herself. I challenged her this time to talk about her. So she's a mom, right? Nicole is a mom. She's a wife. She's a daughter. She's a sister. She's friends for everybody. She loves the world, but she never gets the opportunity. And I say the same thing about Pastor Nita. They don't get opportunities to talk about themselves. So I challenge them. You got to talk about yourself. You got to look at this macro relationship. One of the most interesting tools, right? Within charting your life course. I'm not going to say difficult, but it's different, right? Challenge you to think about it, giving her an opportunity to be vulnerable and share as much as she wants or as little as she wants as it relates to this. I would just say when you use this mapping relationship tool, make sure you have some tea. Make sure you have something warm because this is not like the other tools within charting your life course. It's a really, I say delicate because sometimes you never know what you don't know. So I'll give you an example. When it says who serves in this role now, right? Boom, easy enough. People who care about you, A, B, C, D, E, right? Or caring for, boom, 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 boom. But looking ahead, right? Who can be in that space looking ahead? But then next steps, if that person's not available, then who's the next person? Sometimes that gets you. For me, I had to fill this out, and it took me many tries. I had pencil, kept erasing. I took it, put it down 500 times, only to finally pick it up because I asked my panelists to pick it up, their paper and pencil up to do the same thing. And so when you hear the panelists, listen for those nuggets. Listen for them sharing their story about what it was like filling out this tool. It's not the easiest thing to do. It's not the funnest, but yet it's something that's necessary for you, for your family, for your future. So I'm going to stop talking and relinquish the mic over to my friend, Nicole Carter.
Well, first of all, you did so well. I don't even know if it's necessary for me to talk. I have to agree. You'll hear my son in the background. He's so if you do, just forgive that. That's my genius with autism, and I give him a lot of freedom. But one of the things that she did say, when you're a community person, you have a tendency to make sure that the community is okay, everybody else is okay, and you do neglect and ignore yourself. And one of the things that I have said continually being a part of Charting Life course is that the reflection factors that's within this within these tools really cause you to reflect from a whole really Stephen from a whole nother level. It causes you to really take in for instance, this caused me to really say, okay, now, this is not about anybody else. This is not about my children. This is not about my husband. This is not about my family. It's about me. And Brandy is correct. I was going, oh, wait a minute. Okay, wait a minute. Well, okay, no, this is not about my son. Okay, and you fight with it. And the reason why it's necessary to write things down, and the reason why it's necessary to map out what's going on in your life, and the reason why those things are important, because if any situation at any moment, your life can change in an instant. And if anything happens, you want to make sure that your relationships are really keyed in on what it is that your expectations are, not only just for your family, for yourself. A lot of times we as women, we are very strong and consistent on letting everybody know what everybody else needs. But sometimes people don't know what we need. So when you talk about mapping relationships, the things that you care about, for me, it was like shares love, affections, and trust. Who serves this role? Of course, my husband has absolutely no choice. We've been married for 26 years. If he doesn't do what I say, as far as not what well, we have a partnership relationship, but every now and then I gotta let him know that I'm the woman. But and I bring home the bacon I fried up in the pan, and I give you some, and you bring home some bacon I fried up in the pan, so we all in this partnership together. But you also want to, but sometimes you got to expand your circle. And that's one of the things that I looked at caring about. The caring about who serves in those roles, like Brandy said, is extremely easy. Oh, so-and-so, such and such, blah, blah, blah. But one of the things that's happening and happening a lot lately is I'm losing dear friends and losing dear family members, and so and they're losing their children. Whereas at one time you thought, oh, my daughter is going to do this, my son's going to do this, and then you lose them, and now you have to take a time out to reflect. That's the reason why when I was looking ahead, as you guys see, I said I'm continue to do my strengthening my family support. But I have to begin to look at building friendship relationships and community connections that are beyond my family. Because if anything happens to my family, we want to map out our family life like we know exactly what's going to go on, but life can change in an instant. I'm dealing with a situation right now that instantly changed a couple of friends of mine's life. I'm dealing with back-to-back situations. And with that being said, this tool caused me to reflect on a whole nother level. Mentorship is two ways. A lot of times people look at mentors as mentors come into your life and they come and guide you and things of that nature, but mentors also need to be in your life. If anything happens to you, the conversations that you had in leadership and the leadership that you trusted with them, they need to bring back to the table. Community leaders, we as women, as mothers, as leaders, have to begin to hold community leaders responsible on the cares that we have, not only for our family, but for ourselves personally. There are things and involvements that you're involved in that some people don't even know. Like for instance, I share my personal mission and ministry and advocacy work to as many people as I can, because I don't want anything to be. I try not to let any stone be left unturned. But what I found, it is one thing to say something; it's a whole nother thing to write it down. And one of the things that we don't do is, as women, we especially leave things in our head, and we have the tools and all the paperwork and all the things that a person's supposed to do left in our heads, and how we navigate things, and how you're able to pay all the bills. Well, you know what, I pull from this resource and I take this resource and then I do this. And then this month I happen to go to a food pantry so I can take the food from the food pantry, and then I go to the store to add to the food pantry. That stuff needs to be written down. This is the reason why in mapping your relationships, when a person cannot do it, another person can step up to do it. If something happens to you, you're in the hospital, or something, tragic happened to you, this is the reason why these tools are necessary. People, I want to be very, very strong on this call. If we don't begin to let folks know in a written way, verbal sometimes has a limited amount of weight because people's verbiage changes from day to day. One day someone says something, the other day somebody says something else. But when you write the things down, even if you change what you've written down, that's perfectly fine. But a written word is one of the most powerful tools, because people can take that written word with them everywhere. So to me, it's like different, like supporting day to day. And I'm going to be as quick as Brandy, you got to give me a sign, because I'm feeling like this is, I'm very vulnerable right now. But when it comes down to who cares for me, of course, I say my husband and children. Something happened to my husband and children, then I got to look for team members, volunteers, because not everybody, you have to find various people to fulfill various roles. Some people, like you could say, oh, my best friend is going to step in and my best friend friend's going to do everything. But that's not true. I have found your best friend is your best friend. Your best friend might not want to step in and help you with your family. Your best friend might say, girl, I didn't sign up for all this. I love you and I'm about to walk completely away. That will happen. So you have to begin to look at honestly relationships around you, because a lot of times we look at surface things, but we don't look at the core things. Does your best friend help their whole family or their own family or your girlfriend or whatever? And if you see they don't, what makes you think that they're going to step up when something happens to you? It's not that you see what happens is we have to get out of fantasy island world and get into reality world, and sometimes the person that you least likely expect will be the very person that will jump in. You have to look at your circle differently. Where are the areas of strengths that you might need help in? As you guys can see, when I look at a lot of my life decisions, one of the things I have to look ahead on when it comes down to caring for, I'm all over the place on this thing. So Brandy, I'm glad you got it up. So y'all can look at it and listen to me at the same time. But I want to build a stronger support system. I do not have a work-life balance. I am an insomniac. I when my son, my family can tell you, my son sleeps sometimes 4 hours and he's up for 20. That completely does not bother me. I am a person, a military person. I trained in a lot of that training. What didn't bother me at all? My drill sergeant was laughing. He said, "What are you cut of?" I'm like, "Listen, sleeping is just for the people that want to do it." But that's not good, because there's some people who gonna come, might step in and something happened to me. They're not gonna do the 420. They're gonna say, listen, everybody in this house need to go to sleep. I need at least 8 to 10. So if anybody moves, we're gonna have a who you call a taser system that's gonna happen if y'all. But I really wanted to look at the reality of what my expectations were for my friends, because my life does not operate the same as everybody else's. So expand your partnerships, and then look at leadership opportunities. This right here, ladies, y'all coming on board and wanting to do this life course, that's a leadership move, because a lot of times people sit back and don't do anything. Y'all see the GoFundMe's. People don't have life insurance or health insurance or anything like that, because they haven't strategized some things that will get them prepared for the realities of life. So I'm just here. Of course, I want to leave questions open. Of course, I want to give Pastor Anita opportunity to talk, but I really want to inspire and encourage you. Take the time out to write this vision and make it plain so your family can run with it. So if anything happens to you, they know exactly what you asked for and what they can do for you.
Thank you so much, Lady Extreme Nicole. Definitely appreciate you. I know you talked about it being very vulnerable for you. When I asked you to do this, because it's the second go around, the first time you'd done it for Stephen. So this was the opportunity for you to do it for yourself. Did you find it easier to do it for yourself than for your son?
Oh no, I came on saying that. No. I'm one that it was easier for my son, because I raised him and I watched him, and he and I have a unique conversation. Me, on the other hand, I'm the queen of back burner for myself. So I'll back burner me in a heartbeat. So when it came time for you to say, no, this needs to be about you, I fell out laughing. First of all, I couldn't wait to hang up with you, but I fell out laughing because I said, well, you mean I got to talk about me?
Yeah.
And to me, it's kind of like, that's not necessarily important, because the roles that I play is not about individuality. And sometimes, and I'll say this, and this is just me personally, sometimes I feel guilty talking about myself, although I made a lot of accomplishments in my life. But me speaking about me, I'm not a braggadocious person. I'm one that gets to the grind and make things happen. But when Brandy said, no, go back and do this, girl, no, it wasn't easy. No. It wasn't easy.
Thank you. Let me ask you one more question and we'll jump over to the next guest. Yes, I said this resonates for sure. I mean, so many things you said just from a mom standpoint, right? A mom, a aunt, a sister, cousin, friend standpoint. That reality is that it's hard to talk about ourselves. It's easier to do it for somebody else or put yourself on the back burner. But when you actually had the opportunity to put yourself and your name on this mapping relationships tool, did it feel empowering to you? Was it uplifting?
It took a lot of guilt away. Because sometimes when you, especially when you're taking care of a special needs person, for the majority of my life, I took care of my son, so I didn't have any problems in doing that. When special needs hit my life personally, and now that I have a mobile disability, it hit very differently because I dealt with a pride thing. I wanted to be the super mom, super queen, I wanted to go in and have all the information and all the answers, the context, the resources, and things of that nature. But sometimes when you look in the mirror, it's kind of like, what contact resources and information do you have about yourself?
Yeah.
What have you taken the time out to do for people to learn about you? You might have a transparent life, but is your life transparent enough for the reality of what you really want to see happen or manifest for yourself? Is that real for you? And when I look back, it was kind of like I was being a superhero for everybody else but myself. I didn't mind being Wonder Woman or Supergirl or whatever for everyone else, but I wasn't doing that for myself. And I didn't want to just put on the cape and put on the superhero suit for everyone else and then turn around and I lacked in that space. This caused me to take the time out to look in the mirror and say, listen, this isn't about anybody else but you.
Yeah.
Now you have to take the time out to really say, be the superhero of your own life so that others know how to help you in your life. And that's what this helped me do.
Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing. If you all have any questions, feel free to put in the chat. We'll jump after Pastor Anita speaks, and then we'll come over to questions. ADA Commissioner Nicole Carter, thank you again for sharing and being vulnerable. Because, I say all the time, right? She's my friend. She doesn't have to continue to be on my panel, but she still says okay every month that I ask her. So I am indebted to you forever. I'm very grateful for you always taking the time to research, study, learn, and apply the tools to your life and to be able to share it with your family and others too. So thank you again. All right, Pastor Anita, you are up next. And as you can see, Miss Anita Walton, is the founder and governing board member of Autism and We. If you don't know what Autism and We is, it is a nonprofit organization committed to supporting, educating, and advocating for individuals with autism and other, did you hear me say other developmental disabilities? Listen, I say, when I found out, I heard about Autism and We a while ago, and then Krishana Harper was on my one of my panelists back in November, and she was like, "Yeah, autism and we," and I was like, "What?" And she explained the we. Once again, the we is for other developmental disabilities. This is not exclusive for those who have autism, but it's for everybody. Anybody who has any type of different opportunities learning, you can be part of the Autism and We Foundation, part of the Autism and We support team, and etc. So I'm going to stop talking as I did with Lady True Nicole. You can read over a bio. I can send it back out to you later, but I'm going to give you a chance to hear from her. So, Miss Anita, please go ahead and share, and I'll pull up your slides in just a quick second.
Well, I guess the first thing I'm going to say is it is horribly unfair that I have to follow Lady Extreme, because that type of energy is always hard to match. And I'm going to do my best. The first thing I'm going to do is zoom right in and channel from where she's at. This tool was more than a challenge for me. For those that know me, I am one of those people that is known for being the background to many other people's foregrounds. They laughed because even as a pastor and a counselor, I don't particularly enjoy being put on the spot or doing public speaking. Which just goes to tell you that he'll equip those if he sends you.
That's right. So
this tool made me literally, I've done this tool 3 times since she gave me this assignment. The first one, I did it as the caregiver parent. And then I went back and I started thinking of my Autism and We family. Oh, what do we need to do and grab out of this tool? And y'all know I'm going to put y'all to work next week, so just know that. And then it really made me pull my counselor's hat out. And every now and then I always share, all counselors need counselor.
Mhm.
You should never think that you can give therapy to everybody and you don't take time to have an ear, to take a moment to reflect, to share, and debrief. Because you are so busy hearing things from people, you'll forget yourself very
Yeah.
easily. So, this tool for me, I'll just be very transparent. I almost had to whoop myself when I got finished.
Mhm.
And now I'm going to mess with her because she's out here and she know I do this all the time. I started hearing Doc's voice
Mhm.
in the back of my head because she constantly tells me, take your own advice,
Yes.
self-care, self-care, self-care.
Mhm.
She has been a sounding board for me on many occasions and a voice of reasoning. We all need that. So when you start doing this tool, and I do recommend that every caregiver do this tool because it'll help you to see things in yourself and help you to get real with some stuff. And I'm not going to tell you you're going to like everything that's going to come out of it, but you'll need everything that comes out of it. Everything that uh, heals you doesn't always taste so good on the way down. When we start talking about who cares about you, we can all start naming things. I've got
Mhm.
family, I've got my children. I
Mhm.
have a very large extended family for those who know me. I someone said I pick up kids everywhere I go, and that
Yeah.
may be very true.
Mhm.
And I have a very, very small inner circle. I have maybe 5 really close friends and 3 that I deal with all the time. Um, what I am learning is that the older I get, even those relationships, you don't get to see each other the way you were when you were younger. Um, and I'm on latter end of the spectrum, as they say. I have number one, a 47-year-old daughter that has Asperger's and some other conditions that roll into that. And through her, I am blessed with my 24-year-old autistic granddaughter. So I've been on a caregiver's journey. If I told the truth, I would say I've been caregiving well over 45 years. And that is because I've also been an elder care advocate because I had to take care of 2 parents that ended up with catastrophic illnesses. So when you've been doing this as long as I have, it literally will become your identity. And you find that you have to reach out and create other things. You spend a great deal of time, you get the same amount, you get the same 24 hours that everyone else gets. The problem is how many of those hours are actually yours. And I find that if I am not asleep, and yes, Nicole, I am too an insomniac. If I'm not asleep and I'm really, really honest, I had to build, and I know this is going to sound crazy, but I literally had to learn to build 2 hours a day that actually are about me. Why? Because you have to do self grooming. You do need to eat at some point. And yes, there are days I have forgotten to eat. Um, you will find that all of that affects you. And so now I I am always an early riser, but I make sure that the first hour of my day is centered around organizing my day. What are you going to be doing? I have to have my meditation time. I have to have that time to really connect with Anita and get her head on straight and get that guard over her tongue that needs to be there, because her mouth can do a lot of things. And before I have to go to work, I work all day, I caregive, I'm running, I have project after project, I pastor. So I am constantly taking in other people's issues, ideals. I'm counseling, I'm doing it all. You would be amazed. I'm amazed after writing this how many hours I actually spend on myself. I'm going to try to stretch that out. What I learned, and that I will share with you, once you've identified, be it an immediate family or your extended family, whatever your circle looks like, know that it will move, shift, and change as your journey goes. This life that we have now, when you are taking care of other people, it is very seasonal. I love the word journey because it tells you that a journey is simply a series of events, activities, and incidents that will go on. Everybody will not be with you in every season of your journey. Don't get mad about it. You don't have to blow a gasket. There's nothing wrong with you. But please note that everybody is not built to go through every step with you every day. It won't happen. Caregiving makes you have to stretch. And according to your age, I know that I just had a conversation with some younger moms who are at the beginning of this journey. And for them, just trying to juggle a social life is horrendous because you're too busy protecting and being mama bear and trying to work your way through how to be the best mom you can be with all the new things that's added. Being a mom is hard, period, on any level. Being a good human being is hard on any level. Being a working woman is tough on any level. Now add that and add having that special community in your life. And I will simply state to you, that is supernatural living at its best. When they tell you that all heroes don't wear capes, that is the blessed truth. You will have to dig deep in this one. Blow your own horn, pat yourself on the back, make sure that you are celebrating all of the little goals and steps. Small victories are what's going to be your mental fuel during some of your darker days. When you want to start talking about creating memories, when you want to discuss what about your traditions and how all that works, I want to touch it from this angle, and it may be blending a couple of the tools, but the big word is intentional. This is not going to happen by accident. You are going to have to write a vision. You are going to have to make it plain. You're going to have to be intentional with your time, with your resources. One, we have kids and loved ones that they learn differently, they sense things differently, they feel things differently, and most importantly, understand that they do all of this and they communicate differently, whether they're verbal or nonverbal. They still are communicating. So when we start talking about things like, how do you spend time together? How do you keep your traditions? It has to be intentional. You have to take your village, whatever support systems you have. The first thing is make sure they understand what your life looks like. Even when it comes down to family functions, when you want to get involved, in order for that child to pick up the culture and the sense of what goes on in families, that tradition is theirs as well. Now your goal is to figure out, how do I get them to participate in that so they understand why the family does. I am very close with my family. We spend a lot of time in family dinners and rehearsing the old stories that took place when we were younger, because a lot of our elders are gone, and that's our time to share the lessons. And so we now have, we created a community that, you know how they name our generations now. Well, we've got our generations and we have to train them going down the line. Well, we can't leave out, Psalms and Wali are not the only kids or young adults in my family that are either ADHD or have some form of a developmental disability. So we all have to stop. If they're using a talker, we want to make sure that we give that pause and that time for them to speak. We want to ask questions to see if they're understanding. My granddaughter does a lot of things and expresses herself through artwork. And so we pull out pens and paper, and the cousins who are so awesome, we've explained to everybody in the family the different ways that each kid communicates, how they can interact with Psalms. Do we know the distance? Who wants to be touched? Who doesn't want to be touched? All that stuff is important. Why? You can't build relationships with people you don't know and you don't understand. You can't show love if you don't know how they receive love. And all of that has to be on the table. And it takes intentional methods to do this. So you have to sit down, have these conversations, get very serious about it, and start sharing those. Then it got a little more complex because she wanted to ask me personal business. Who gives you your day-to-day support and needs? Who ensures that financial needs are met? Who advocates for you? And I found myself with this 2-word phrase that went all the way down: self-reliance. And someone says, well, you got family. I do have family. All of them are not near me. They are not always around. One of the greatest tools that was ever invented during COVID, it got us used to doing Zoom, and that helps. And I talked with a couple of people this week that every now and then set up a Zoom call for no other reason than you need to see somebody else's face besides the people that you're constantly caregiving for. Make time for an intentional phone call. I have there's 3 of us and they call us the Twisted Sisters. I can guarantee that at least at some point during the day, one of them's either going to text me or call me and go, hey, they got a joke going now. Have you been fed and watered today? And that is because my grandbaby, she has figured out that she has to take care of the Nene. So who takes care of me? My Psalms takes care of me. If I do too much or I'm going too far, I will look up and the water bottle will end up next to my desk, or she'll come in and she has made me a sandwich of some nature and sat it down, or she'll share with me. That's her way of expressing her love and taking care of the person that takes care of her. You've got to help even your loved ones to figure out, what can I do to give back? We never think about the ones we're taking care of that are nonverbal or have a physical disability. What do? Guess what? They want to give love too. They want to give back to you because they see that you're doing these things for them. Your goal is to figure out how to help them know what they can do for you. And no matter how small it is, you show appreciation for it. You make sure that if they drew that picture, it's the greatest picture on earth. Because here's the other reality of life, grown-ups. Nobody has to give you anything. They don't owe you anything. They don't have to come to your rescue. So you've got to build some self-reliance as part of being resilient. I am not married anymore. That, we got rid of that one. That didn't work. It's okay. I ain't the first one that had to trade one in. It was for my good. It's all good. But in those lonely spaces, when you're by yourself and there's nobody around, here's the funny part. I'm on the reverse end. Between my daughter and my granddaughter, and even when my son's around, because he's ADHD, his attention span is that of a gnat. Here's the weird part. I'm the odd person because I'm quote unquote somewhere near normal. I'm never normal, y'all, but somewhere near normal by somebody's scale. And so I'm sitting in the room with people who are sitting there texting each other on the phone, and they're looking at each other, and I'm going, hey, over here. And we have to go, or even worse, I have to pick my phone up and text everybody, put the phones down. We're going to eat now, and I would like y'all to look at each other. Everything has to be intentional because you've got to draw people in. And you need that time, whether you know it or not. It gives you life. For me, looking ahead, self-care, finding more creative ways, because when you have limited time and limited resources, you got to get creative. They laugh at me because they know I spend a great deal of time in my bathroom. It's the only place I can actually close the door and get away without anybody talking to me for 15, 20 minutes at a time. So me and the shower are best friends. I have a shower chair and I will just sit in there with the steam running some days. It's just wonderful. Okay. Got my music on, ain't nobody coming to join me. I'm good. I'm happy. I had 15 minutes of me time. I have learned that because I don't have finances, I don't have that mate bringing that other in. Guess what? I'm self-reliant. What does that mean? It means multiple streams of income. It means you got to find some different ways to do things at different times. So I also event plan and do several other things and activities. But for that support, that advocation, that thing that kind of reminds you that you too are human. When I looked back at it, y'all pat yourself on the back. Autism and we. My advocacy, which is birthed out of part of my ministry, and it is a part of very much of who I am. Don't think you can really separate them. I cannot. It is who I am. But when I give out, it builds me. It is a part of me sustaining me. If I see that something I did or I said helped somebody to make some extra steps,
Yes, ma'am.
guess what? And I know everybody says, well, you don't need any validation. I got a secret for you. That's not true. Every human being living needs to be validated.
Right.
Why? Because each of us have very unique identities and personalities. And if you don't look for validation, I'm not saying you got to beg somebody to say something to you, but look around you, validate yourself sometimes. Take a look around your house. Look at what miracle that kid did today. Look at what they're doing that some doctor didn't say would happen. Every time you defied the odds, every time you got up from falling down, that is validation. It's also part of your resilience and you understanding that you and yourself were created with purpose. Everybody cannot do what you're doing. Everybody can handle your special package that was sent down here just for you. If we go all the way back in time, I love this tool because it's very simplistic. And I had to teach this at church. Whatever spiritual method you have, that's fine. I can only talk from the one that I am. Okay. So even from the very beginning of time, I mess with people, and I'll simply say this to you. God's original intent and agenda was never church. There's not a denomination in the Bible. His original intent when he created us was relationship. It is the one thing he left there. It is what we need to be to each other. He built it starting with two and expected us to take care of each other, feed into each other, and no matter how we like it, good, bad, or ugly, we're the reason it's there. Understand that, and you'll help your child find their purpose and their identity, because no matter what you do with this, it will boil down to relationships and how you relate with others. So it's a great map. Thank you, Brandy. I so appreciate you even allowing us to share. It may not exactly turn out the way you want it, but that's, you said to be me. That's what I got.
That's right. I did. Thank you, Pastor Anita. I appreciate you. It was definitely invaluable just hearing your story. I have some nuggets that I wrote down as well. But my main one that I received the most was intentional. Be very intentional with your words, be very intentional with your actions. And so, my question I have for you as we wind this up, I want to find out when you start putting your words and your ideas and your thoughts on paper, who do you intentionally plan to share this with? Is my question.
The first place I'm going to share this with are with my girls. And when I say that, I mean my daughter. And Psalms and I have started sharing this already.
Okay.
Why? Because I'm working on a project that I'm allowing her to do the artwork for.
Yeah.
And it helps her to learn how to communicate with me about some needs. Maybe she's having some. She's 24 now. And y'all remember when y'all were 24. 24 is interesting for women. And she doesn't have the verbiage other people have. So I'm encouraging her to share that way. I think that sharing with your family, one of the things Lady Nicole mentioned is something that I preach to people all the time, but sometimes we don't like talking about it. Who's going to pick up when you must be called away or something else happens? There needs to be a plan. Who knows where your living will is? Who's even heard you discuss what you want to happen to you if something life-changing happens? Who's there? Who understands you? Who knows what you believe? Someone has to carry it out. So I'm going to share that and share this tool as much as possible.
Yes, ma'am, for sure. Listen, it has been an invaluable hour of power. We'll talk just a few more minutes, but I just want to say thank you, thank you, thank you to Pastor Anita. Thank you, thank you, thank you to ADA Commissioner Nicole Carter for stepping up, showing out, right? And sharing from your heart, right? You didn't have to. You could have just shared like "Da, da, da," on paper, and this is what it is, right? But you actually, in addition to doing that, you actually shared from your heart how you felt, how you are going to use this tool, how it's going to benefit you, your family, your chosen or biological family, and how you can help others. So the goal is always to, in addition to having these amazing panelists come and share, for you all as audience members to put your words, like Lady Extreme Nicole says, put it on paper. Give it to that family member, give it to that friend. Like Pastor Anita said, give it to others so they know where the information is. The Mapping Relationships tool can be part of your will. It can be part of your trust. It could be part of those important documents that you have. So consider filling it out. If you got questions, we got amazing people right here who can help you through this journey and process. There's lots of information in the chat. I'll just read a couple things and then we'll go ahead and close very, very soon. Okay. So as you can see, Erica put in, mark your calendars for the 12th annual All Disabilities Fest. It'll be July 12th. Woo, woo, 1 to 5. You can see right there, there's the website, upfad.org. It's from, once again, 1 to 5 at COSI here in Columbus, Ohio. 12 years Lady Extreme has been rocking. Listen, you have family, children, adults, whomever they may be, those who are exceptional students and adults, feel free to come. Everybody is welcome. You'll have a fabulous time. There's free food. There's lots of entertainment. There's ice cream. There's desserts. There's vendors and more. It is fabulous. Every time I go, I love it. Katie had posted that this information has resonated with her. I'm trying to go down without messing my screen. Yep, resonated. We also have somebody else saying, thanks for sharing, Ms. Smith. Thank you. We have Jocelyn saying, I love this. Sorry, I need Erica here to help me, but it's okay. I'm gonna get it, Erica. Don't worry. I need my little mouse because this isn't working. Hold on. All right. Okay. I love this. Something about my current situation, but I need to fill it out. Okay. And she also says, you never know when and how life can change for you. It takes a lot of thought and reality for sure. Someone else said, I personally felt a little depressed. Mapping relationships at first, I felt ashamed about how much I had neglected myself. Hold on. Let me scroll down a little more. I rejected myself, felt guilty, too exhausted to explain. There are so many gaps in my relationship chart just a few years ago. Relationships are so much richer now. Yes, God be the glory. This is so amazing. All I have to do is share my truth without shame and guilt using these tools. Yes, use them, share them, pass them along.
Yeah.
And the beautiful thing about it is these tools, they're yours, right? Have them and pass them and share them. Everybody got opinions, but it doesn't matter. This is your information. This is what you share. And this is who you can feel comfortable sharing it with whomever you choose, right? When we go down here, we have some more information. Thanks to Erica for putting that information in from the Family Resource Network of Ohio. Celia says, I love how you address the idea of helping them identify their valued roles within the family. Couple more things. It's epic. Yes, reciprocal relationships in a nutshell. Sliding down. Let's see. Jocelyn, what'd you say? Okay, more education on disabilities of all forms need to be done. Once children get older, they need to go back over and see. Excuse me, I need to go back over something so the child knows how to deal with the outside world. Yes.
Yeah.
Keep following us. We're talking about it. We're talking about the different tools within charting a life course. So definitely keep following. Go to the website. Go to YouTube. You see some other tools that we have used within the panelists as well. It's a nice reminder because LJ, yep, takes care of me, takes of me. Is that what it says? Okay. He also makes sure that I take a nap and offer to help. Yes. Last but not least, I think we're almost done. Thank you so much for your transparency and your love, support. I appreciate you all, and thank God I found you all. God is so good and bless everyone. Yes, God be the glory. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Erica said, thanks for attending. Yep, Charting Your Life course. Yes, we got an evaluation at the end. Don't worry, you can complete it here or let's go. Boom. I'm gonna show you the evaluation in just 1 second, but before we get there, I want you all, it's all interactive. I tell you, it's just an interactive opportunity for you all to jump on. We have a QR code. If you take a picture of it right now, you can see it. This is some of my amazing panelists that have been on the panel thus far. Those are coming on the panel in the future. They have their bios. They have a little bit of information about themselves. So please take a screenshot so you can see that. You can see the panelists. And if you want to be a panelist, hey, reach out to me because I'm always looking for additional panelists. Last but not least, as Eric has already passed the message along, please take the time out to fill this evaluation out. As you know, with it being a nonprofit, you don't have to pay. right? For this amazing information. You don't have to pay for nothing. You just got to be here. And all we ask in return is we can get some data to pass along to those who pay for the Family Resource Network of Ohio for us to do what we do here within Scope and others. So please feel free to put your information, be honest as you want to be. You could talk about how amazingly great Pastor Anita was and Lady Extreme and Brandy talk too much. It's fine. I'm good because I'm not taking it to heart, right? Let me just say this before I let you guys go. In addition to thanking you all so much, everybody, for being here today, I've said it once and I'll say it again. Thank you to Pastor Anita and thank you to APA Commissioner Lady Extreme Nicole for being my panelist. I do want to make sure that everybody knows my friend Jerica. She was the other panelist who was going to be on this evening. Unfortunately, she had a death in her family. And so she had to take care of herself, right? She had to take care of others. And so in order to put, we always hear when we're in the airplane, your oxygen mask on first. And so to God be the glory, I'm glad she did that. She's taking time out for herself and her family before she jumps on and is on the panel with us today. She actually filled in the tool and then she realized it's a little lot. So I'm glad she has taken the time. Just want to continue to keep her lifted in prayer. Remember, next month we are back at it. The second Thursday of each month. I have my little cheat sheet here, so you probably can't see it. But in April, we're going to be talking about sacred strength while visioning a good life. What does that look like? Wait until next month. The second Thursday of each month, we are here. The first, the third, and the fourth, we are on what?
Autism and We support call.
There you go.
7 to 8 o'clock.
Fill it out, 7 to 8. All right. I thank you all so much for being here. I thank you.
Randy, don't leave. They want to see the word cloud?
Oh, yes. Okay. Now let's see how I can fill out the.
Can you share it? Or I'm not host or co-host this time for some reason, so I don't have the ability to share.
Hey, Tracy, are you able to help me with the word cloud?
Now I can. I got it.
Okay.
Yes, I can.
Okay, sweet. Listen, Tracy told me about it and I tried to do it today and I thought I was doing something.
You did it. We just didn't see it. You just got to share it with us.
Thanks. So who are the people that support you most? We got daughter, family, friends, women. We have parents, my dog, yes, trusted coworkers, my daughter, yes. Listen, I'm excited. I can't wait to send you the evaluation. Don't worry if you missed it today. I'm gonna send it to you again. Also send you this word cloud. You can still add to it. We don't give our dogs enough credit. Okay. So, yeah. Love it. Thank you guys so much for the opportunity to be with you all this evening. Look forward to seeing you next month. But if you're on Autism and We, I'll see you next week. Have a great night, everyone. Thank you.
Good night, all.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
The eval is also in chat, everybody, and it's also when you leave the call, it will pop up as well. So show us some love if you could. Thank you.
Thanks, Erica. All right, ladies.